The Divine Beasts Giganotosaurus is now available in Path of Titans, and this is the mod showcase of this behemoth. Let's dive right into it. This is it right here. This is the Divine Beasts Giganotosaurus, and this is the mod. This is the male skin for the default skin, and this is the female skin. As you can see, it literally gets a lot more grayer. The browns turn to greys pretty much, and it gets a lot duller. It's pretty much the same as what's on the belly. That's gone up to the whole of the body. Now, this thing has a lot of different subspecies. I think it has 7 different species. The first one is Carolini, and that is this one. It's plus 10% bleed. We move over to Salgado, which is plus 5% armor. This one gets a lot thicker overall. You can tell by the whole body on this thing. It gets so much bigger. And then the next one is Chupentensis, which is plus 3 attack damage. It's more comparable to Carolini, but it's a lot more jagged in when you look at the crest and everything on the head. It's a lot more beefy there, but this is overall my favorite one out of the bunch. You get Rosea, which is plus 5% stamina. Another very, very nice species right here. It is gorgeous. It doesn't have the scoots running along the back, but other than that, that's the main change. Then you got Pachypholus, which is plus 3% speed, which looks very nice. You get Retro, which is obviously a more retro style Giganotosaurus, kind of retro style Carcharodontosaurid. If anything, it's very, very neat. You got Bestia, which kind of reminds me of the Jurassic World Giganotosaurus. This one is plus 15% bone break regen. Retro was plus 3% speed. This has a lot of skins. It has 22 skins roughly for this mod. Let's dive into them. This is the default skin. Very nice. There's all the patterns for it right there. We move next into Desert Pug, which has similar themes. It has more oranges along the face and all that. That's where the detailing comes from. Then my favorite skin, Spotted Marine, a beautiful skin. It has some slight blue, but it's mainly an orange skin. Next one is Cranium, which has that cranium style face paint, or pretty much kind of thing, detailing on its face. It's gorgeous, a beautiful skin. Lionfish is next, followed up by Vista. Next is Bog Walker, so this is more of a natural green looking skin. Cenomanian is a more red polka dot kind of skin. Very nice overall. Then you move to Dragoon, which is another red skin. Gorgeous skins, both that and Cenomanian, which are very similar in their overall colors being more maroon-like. Then you've got Chocon, which has these patterns. It looks like it doesn't actually have any patterns that are very obvious there. Then you move into Mapu, which this one does have patterns. The main changes are on its belly and then on the top of the dinosaur as well on the back. Then you get Crown. Now, some of these skins I've already unlocked. This is just because I was testing this dinosaur out earlier. Then we have Desert Beast, which doesn't have any differences in the patterns. Then you move into Jester, which is kind of like a Joker. It's this thing that gets changed is the lip painting. It pretty much just changes the pattern on the lips. Then you get Sandstone, another gorgeous skin. Blacks and oranges always will be my favorite skins. Terracotta, another gorgeous skin. Blacks and oranges once again with a bit of white blended in there. Taito is next. Then you get Zeb, which kind of looks like it's got ingrained scars on it. And then you've got Albino. And then after that, you've got Melanistic. And then you have Leopard, which I like Leopard. It's got some nice patterns on it, which are very, very nice overall. I like the pattern on the face there. It's very nice. And then finally, you've got the masked skin as well, which adds slight red highlights along the face. Here we have the baby Giganotosaurus. And one thing that you're probably going to notice with this dinosaur, I just want to showcase here, I still have the baby Bestia subspecies. And so this is the baby Bestia next to the baby Carolini. Let me know what you think about them. These are the only showcase I'm going to have properly of these babies. It's just coincidence because I literally just deleted that one. Anyways, there's one thing you have to notice when playing as the Giganotosaurus, and that is the baby animations are going to be significantly more bouncier than the adult animations. That is no mistake. The developers of this mod have purposely made the animations for the baby bouncier than the adults, and I think that's a very, very nice touch. Anyways, this dinosaur does come with a standard bite attack, and this is it. However, when it comes to what the damage is like, we have a little iguanodon here, and it's not going to be the best test of it, but we can give it a bite. And you can see, it does pretty much very little damage, but that is quite a big dinosaur. I'm sure if you had something smaller, it would do more damage to that. So, when it comes to the abilities of this mod, it gets a lot. And we're going to go over all of them right now. This pretty much means you can almost have a full ability bar of abilities here, or attacks. So let's talk about them. For the head, you get 4 abilities. You get 2 head slots. You get a bite that causes medium damage. You get charged bleed bite, which is a charge up attack and inflicts bleed based on how long it's held. Then you get flesh graze, which tears a chunk off of flesh off your victim, giving food for 40 points of health to the Giganotosaurus, draining -20 stamina from the target. Large sauropods get a massive debuff to their bleed heal rate, but tyrannosaurs, amphibians, hadrosaurs and ampelosaurus have half of the effect. That being said, the next one is Sanguine Snap, which is a quick bite attack that stacks with every hit. It increases overall. That being said, we move on to the sensors. You get Southern Tyrant, which grants 15% armor in exchange for -10% speed. And then you get Lone Hunter, which is a 10% increased attack damage when not in a group. Then you get your Front Limb Claw Attack, which deals average damage with low bleed, and then you go to your metabolisms. You get 3 options here: Gourmand, which allows you to eat meat, fish, carrion and bones. You get Hyper Carnivore, which only allows you to eat meat, food drains much slower. And you get Scavenger, which allows you to eat meat, carrion and bones as well. For the hide, you get Lightweight Scales, which increases speed by 5%, decreases turn speed by 15%, Resilient Scales, which increases bleed and venom healing by 30%, and Slick Scales, which is unable to be grappled or pounced. Next, you have 3 leg abilities. You get Accelerator, which increases the trot speed by 15% when out of combat, which is 50 marks. You get Left Stomp and Right Stomp, which do a stomp damage and is kind of area of effect as well. Then you get 2 back limb abilities. You get Stout, which takes 30% less knockback, but 25% increased bone break healing, and Enraged Charge, which lets you charge forward in a line, causing damage to anything that you hit. Tail, you get Balanced Tail, which gains 5% turn radius, and then you get Tail Attack, that is an attack that causes light damage. And then finally, for your voice, you get Raging Bellow, which increases attack damage by 15% and increases 45% knockback resistance. A great vocal ability. So when it comes to all of the attacks, let's showcase them off cinematically, and let's showcase them on our test subject after. This is your standard bite. This is your charged bleed bite. Then you get your tail attack, followed up by your right stomp. Following that is the left stomp. However, we're going to give it a second for it to do its thing because it's on cooldown at the moment. It's got an 8-second rough cooldown, and 10-second actually, I was wrong. By the time the animation's done, you've got 8 to 7 seconds left. After that, you get your Raging Bellow. The Raging Bellow is really, really good because this has a little aura effect with it. I think that's really nice to see. It's really nice for vocal abilities. That being said, you get your Claw. And then after that, you get your Charge Attack, which by the way, this does knockback as well. So if you hit something while doing that, you get knocked back. Anyways, we've got 2 more head-based abilities to showcase. So let's go ahead and showcase them off. This next one for the head-based abilities, you get your flesh-tearing bite. That's the animation for it. And then the final one is the Sanjin Snap, which is a very quick attack and you can do very quickly. As you can see, you can do it within a second of each other, and it stacks really, really well. And I'll show that in a moment. So now let's go ahead and showcase all of these off on a test subject. So when it comes to all of the attacks that you get on this mod, this is how it stacks up in terms of damage to a Iguanodon. So you got your bite attack, does a nice cool probably 1/8 of the health right there. You then get the charged bleed attack. Now this will do a lot less, however this will apply bleed as well. It does roughly the same damage, to be fair, if you hold it for a long time. The next one is the tail attack, and as you can see the tail is quite high. However, this tail attack angles down, so it does damage, and it does quite a nice amount of damage. The next thing here is the stomp. Now I'm just going to quickly showcase this because this is what it is, and it does a lot of damage. You could do it again on the other side after the cooldown and it still does that same amount of damage, especially when you're closer to your opponent, and this is what it is. And there you go, that's already half of the health done by a combo of a tail attack and 2 stomps. Both stomps you can do after 10 seconds. The next one is the claw attack, which does this much damage. Similar to the bite actually, but it also does bleed. The next thing I want to show you is that this thing has a charge attack. Of course, I've already showcased that, but this charge does knockback. So we charge in and we hit, you knock them back quite far. And it does them a little stun damage. It does quite a bit of damage as well. Now, we've got the Sanjin Snap and the Flesh Tearing Bite. I'm going to show you the Sanjin one first. This is the Sanjin Snap. It does very little damage at first, but you can quickly see this stacks up until the dinosaur is taking a lot of damage per hit. So, this is the animation for the Flesh Tearing Bite. And as you can see, it tears off a meat chunk and then boom. And then you get that blood particle effect around your mouth. So, there we have it. That is the brand new Divine Beasts Giganotosaurus mod, now available in Path of Titans. Let me know what you think about this mod in the comments down below. Do you like it? Do you not? What is your thoughts? But of course, remember to keep things constructive and obviously pleasant too. Anyways, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed this mod. If you are new and want to check out another mod showcase video, I recommend this one, showcasing Zfactinus, or maybe this one that talked about upcoming mods like the Leviathan and Nazutoceratops. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.